There's a woman in your office building. She packs her lunch every single day. Turkey sandwich, apple, water bottle from home. Her car is a 2009 Toyota Camry with a cracked side mirror she hasn't bothered to fix. Her colleagues feel sorry for her. They assume she's struggling. They assume she's one bad month away from a serious problem. What they don't know is that she has a net worth of $3.7 million. Fully paid mortgage, maxed retirement accounts, zero debt. She could walk out of that office today and never come back. She doesn't, not because she has to stay, but because she chooses to. And that distinction, that quiet, invisible, deliberately unremarkable choice, is the single most underrated wealth strategy in America today. This video is going to make you rethink everything you thought you knew about what success is actually supposed to look like. Let's start with something uncomfortable. The person in your neighborhood driving the $70,000 SUV probably has a lower net worth than the person driving the 12-year-old sedan. This isn't a guess. This is documented, researched, statistically verified behavior playing out in every zip code in America. Researchers spent decades studying actual millionaires, not celebrities, not tech founders, everyday American millionaires, the kind who live next door and you'd never know it. Here's what they found. The majority of people with seven-figure net worths are first-generation wealthy. No inheritance, no trust fund, no lucky break. They built it themselves, quietly, while everyone around them was busy looking the part. More than half of them have lived in the same modest home for over 20 years. Their most common vehicle? Not a German luxury brand, not anything with a hood ornament people recognize from 50 feet away. Toyota, Honda, Ford, regular cars that disappear into any parking lot in America. Now, flip that picture. Studies on automotive purchasing behavior reveal something striking. A significant portion of people earning under $100,000 a year are financing luxury vehicles, $60,000 cars on $50,000 salaries. The math doesn't work, but the appearance does. And that's exactly the point. One group is optimizing for how their life looks. The other group is optimizing for how their life actually functions. These are two completely different games, with two completely different outcomes. The people playing the appearance game, they're not irrational. They've simply been handed the wrong rule book. Every advertisement they've ever seen told them the same story. Success looks a certain way. Wealth sounds a certain way. If you've made it, you show it. This idea is so deeply embedded in American consumer culture that most people never stop to question it. They just absorb it, and then they act on it. And then they wonder why, at 45 years old, with a good salary and a nice car, their retirement account still feels dangerously thin. The car didn't cause the problem. The belief behind the car did. The belief that visibility equals value, that appearance equals achievement, that looking wealthy and being wealthy are the same destination. They are not. They never were. And the people who figure that out early change everything about how they move through the world financially. Let's talk about numbers, not abstract numbers, real, specific, uncomfortable numbers that most financial advisors won't put in front of you this bluntly. Say you're earning $120,000 a year, solid income, above the national median. You decide you deserve a nice car. Nothing crazy, a $45,000 vehicle, financed over 60 months at a reasonable interest rate. Your monthly payment lands around $850. That's $10,200 a year leaving your household every single year to fund an asset that loses value the moment you drive it off the lot. Now, here's where it gets painful. Take that same $850 a month and redirect it into a broad market index fund averaging 7% annual returns. Over 30 years, that single decision, that one monthly redirection,
compounds to just over $1 million. $1 million, sitting in your portfolio, working for you while you sleep. Instead, you have a car that's worth $9,000 and memories of how good it felt to pull into the office parking lot for about 3 weeks. That's the real price of looking wealthy. Not the sticker price, not the monthly payment, the opportunity cost measured in decades. And the car is just one example. Stack the designer wardrobe on top, add the luxury watch, factor in the premium apartment in the trendy neighborhood, when a modest home 30 minutes out to the left would have been half the cost. Each individual purchase feels justified in isolation. Together, they form a lifestyle that quietly, systematically dismantles any chance of real financial independence.
Researchers studying affluent American households identified a concept they called million-dollar choices. These are everyday spending decisions that seem reasonable in the moment, but carry a hidden price tag measured in lost compound growth. The difference between a $30,000 car and a $70,000 car, invested consistently over 25 years at 7%, is approximately $350,000. That's not a car upgrade. That's a retirement account. That's options. That's the ability to walk away from a job you hate 5 years earlier than you thought possible. The visible spender trades future freedom for present appearance every single time. And the brutal irony? Most of the people they're trying to impress aren't even paying attention. Here's the question nobody asks. If the math is this obvious, why do intelligent, educated, high-earning Americans keep making the same wealth-destroying decisions? It's not ignorance. Most people understand compound interest. Most people know that cars depreciate. Most people have heard the advice 100 times: save more, spend less, invest early. They know, they just don't do it. And the reason why has nothing to do with math. It has everything to do with psychology. Over a century ago, a sociologist introduced a concept that explains nearly every financially destructive decision made in modern America. He called it conspicuous consumption. The idea is simple. People don't buy products purely for utility. They buy signals. A $50,000 watch tells time exactly as well as a $50 watch. The extra $49,950 buys something completely different. It buys a story, a signal to everyone in the room about who you are, what you've achieved, where you stand. The product is almost irrelevant. The perception is everything. And once you understand that, you start seeing it everywhere. The leased BMW in the driveway of a house with a second mortgage, the business class flight funded by credit card debt, the luxury handbag purchased the same week the emergency fund hit zero. These aren't reckless people. These are people responding rationally to completely irrational social programming. Research confirms that individuals who associate money with status and power report lower financial satisfaction over time. They spend to impress without ever pausing to measure the cumulative damage. There's another psychological force working against you here. It's called hedonic adaptation. Your brain is wired to normalize pleasure. The new car feels incredible for roughly 3 weeks, then it becomes just the car. The watch impresses you for a month, then it becomes just the watch. The thrill fades, the payment doesn't. So you need the next purchase to feel it again, and the cycle accelerates. Meanwhile, the quietly wealthy person experiences something completely different. Their growing net worth provides a background sense of security that doesn't adapt away. Financial safety isn't exciting, but it's permanent. It doesn't wear off after 3 weeks. It compounds. It deepens. It quietly transforms every decision you make from a fear-based reaction into a position of genuine strength. The psychological trap isn't a character flaw.
It's a design flaw. You were handed a broken rulebook. The first step is simply recognizing it. There's a framework you need to understand. It was developed by researchers who spent decades studying the actual behavior of wealthy Americans. They divided people into two categories, not by income, not by education, not by zip code, by behavior. The first category they called prodigious accumulators of wealth, the second, under-accumulators of wealth. And here's what makes this framework so valuable. A school janitor earning $50,000 a year can be a more effective wealth builder than a surgeon earning $700,000 a year. The income is almost irrelevant. The behavior is everything. Under-accumulators are easy to spot. They live in the right neighborhoods. They wear the right brands. They drive the right cars. They've mastered the appearance of financial success while quietly drowning beneath the surface. Many of them are highly educated professionals. They understand compound interest intellectually. They just never apply it behaviorally, because their spending is driven by something the researchers called the better-than theory. Better car than the neighbor, better vacation than the colleague, better watch than the brother-in-law. Every purchase is a competition, and competitions are expensive. Now look at the prodigious accumulator. They think completely differently. They don't ask, what does this purchase say about me? They ask, what does this purchase cost me in future freedom? That single mental reframe changes every financial decision they make. They've done the math on opportunity cost so many times it becomes instinct. They don't feel deprived driving the modest car. They feel strategic. They don't feel embarrassed packing lunch. They feel ahead. The researchers also developed a simple formula to identify which category you currently fall into. Take your age, multiply it by your annual pre-tax household income, divided by 10. That number is your expected net worth benchmark. A 40-year-old earning $150,000 a year should have approximately $600,000 in net worth. If you're significantly below that number, the lifestyle you're funding is costing you more than you realize. The invisible wealthy aren't lucky. They aren't smarter in any conventional sense. They simply opted out of the visibility game earlier than everyone else. They decided that the opinion of people they barely know was not worth trading their financial independence for. That decision, quietly, in an ordinary car, in an ordinary parking lot, is worth millions, literally. Most people think looking wealthy has no downside. They're wrong. Visibly displaying wealth creates a specific set of problems that most financial content never talks about. Let's start with the one that should scare you most: fraud. Federal Trade Commission data shows Americans lost over $10 billion to fraud in a single recent year. Investment fraud alone accounted for nearly $5 billion of those losses. And here's the detail that matters. High net worth individuals, people with assets exceeding $1 million, experience identity theft at a measurably higher rate than the general population, significantly higher. Why? Because visibility is an invitation. Sophisticated financial criminals don't cast wide nets. They research specific targets. They study social media profiles. They analyze publicly available information. They construct detailed pictures of your financial life before you ever know they exist. Then they move to impersonating financial advisors, mimicking private bankers, crafting communications so precise they fool people who should know better. The person who looks wealthy advertises exactly what they have. The person who looks ordinary gives criminals nothing to work with. Financial invisibility is a security strategy as much as it is a wealth strategy. Now let's talk about negotiation. Every financial transaction you enter involves the other party making assumptions about your ability to pay. Car dealerships do this, contractors do this, service providers do this, real estate agents do this. The moment you signal wealth through your appearance, your vehicle, your address, the price adjusts accordingly. Warren Buffett once noted that his modest appearance gave him a negotiating advantage in virtually every transaction. Nobody knew what he was worth, so nobody inflated their price for his benefit. Over a lifetime of purchases, this pricing differential accumulates into significant money. The visibly wealthy person pays a quiet premium on almost everything they buy. The ordinarily dressed person pays the standard rate. Then there are the social dynamics. When colleagues perceive you as comfortable, they expect you to cover dinners. When friends know you drive a luxury car, they assume the expensive restaurant is fine. When family suspects significant assets, the requests begin. Financial visibility creates social obligations that erode wealth through 1,000 small transactions, none of which feels significant in isolation. The invisible wealthy person sidesteps all of it. No inflated prices, no social pressure spending, no fraud target on their back, no complicated family dynamics driven by perceived disparity. Invisibility isn't modesty, it's armor. Let's bring this to its logical conclusion. Two people, same age, same city, same starting salary, both earning $180,000 a year. Person 1 saves and invests 25% of their income. That's $45,000 a year flowing into diversified, low-cost index funds. They drive a used car. They live in a modest home. They look completely unremarkable. Person 2 saves 5%. They spend the rest maintaining a lifestyle that signals success to everyone around them. Nice car, premium apartment, designer, everything. They look exactly like what most people imagine success looks like. Fast forward 25 years, person 1, at 7% average annual returns, has accumulated approximately $3.4 million. They have complete financial independence. They have options. They could retire today, change careers tomorrow, walk away from anything that no longer serves them. Person 2, saving only 5% over the same period, has accumulated approximately $680,000. Not nothing, but not freedom either. They still need their job. They still need the next paycheck. One bad year could genuinely hurt them. The gap between these two people isn't talent. It isn't luck. It isn't even income. It's the quiet, compounding consequence of two completely different definitions of success. Person 1 defines success as freedom. Person 2 defines success as appearance. After 25 years, person 1 has both. Person 2 has neither. The math doesn't lie. It never does. It just takes long enough that most people never connect the decision to the outcome until it's too late to do much about it. So here's where we land. The 2009 Camry with the cracked mirror isn't a symbol of struggle, it's a symbol of clarity. Clarity about what money is actually for. Not for signaling, not for performing, not for managing the perceptions of people who aren't paying your bills or funding your retirement or sitting with you when things get hard. The most financially sophisticated people in America figured something out early. Wealth isn't what you display. Wealth is what you preserve. Wealth isn't the watch on your wrist. Wealth is the morning you wake up and realize you don't have to go anywhere you don't want to go. That's it. That's the whole game. And the entry fee is simply the willingness to stop playing the other one. Stop optimizing for how your life looks to strangers. Start optimizing for how your life actually functions. Drive the ordinary car. Pack the lunch, live in the house that's slightly less impressive than what you could technically afford. Let people underestimate you. That's not a loss, that's leverage. Every dollar that doesn't go toward maintaining an appearance goes toward purchasing something far more valuable. Time, security, options, freedom. The quiet ones in the ordinary cars, they already know this. They figured it out while everyone else was still performing. And 25 years from now, when the visible spenders are still showing up because they have to, the invisible wealthy will be deciding where they actually want to be. If this reframe shifted something for you today, share it with someone still playing the wrong game. They might be ready to hear it.